What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be showcasing some of the in-depth combos that you can do with what I'm lovingly calling my kitchen sink Shaddolls deck. At this point, this is kind of like the culmination of like all of the budget engine ideas that I've kind of featured. The newest one here is the Phantom Knights, but we have like our dolls, our Performages, and our hero engine all kind of coming together to make like this nutty blend of engine that just works together pretty well. Is a little bit more of a budget focused idea for those of you who can't afford like the invoked cards, the Dogmatica cards, or even if you wanted to play some of the more combo heavy variants, the kitchen sink, where it's the kitchen sink in the extra deck. With the synchro builds that go through Dragoon, Verite, Needle Fiber. I know that a lot of people don't want to see those in every deck profile that they see, but getting off, we'll jump into combo number one. Okay, starting with our first combo, we have our Shaddolls Wendy, our Performage Damage Juggler, and our Shaddolls Fusion. We're going to activate our Shaddolls Fusion, fusing away the two to summon a El Shaddolls Construct. Here, Wendy's effect is going to trigger, and El Shaddolls Construct's effect is going to trigger. Wendy's going to summon the Aerial from our deck, and Construct is going to dump a Squamata. It's important to dump a Squamata here because we're going to be special summoning the Squamata back later in the combo, and we're going to need it because it's going to be the dark that we need for our combo itself. And then Squamata effect is going to trigger at the resolution of that because it was sent by a card effect to the grave, and that's going to dump our Shaddolls Incarnation. And then from here, we can banish our Damage Juggler to add our Performage Trick Clown from our deck to our hand, normal summon the Trick Clown, and link it and the Construct off into our cross sheet. From here, our Construct effect is going to trigger, getting us back in El Shaddolls Fusion. If you started this combo with Polymerization, you'll just be down one card, which is a little bit unfortunate, but any hand that you open the El Shaddolls or the Shaddolls Fusion, you just get to recur it for free. From here, also the Trick Clown effect triggers, special summoning itself back. And then afterwards, we'll use the effect of Shaddolls Incarnation in the graveyard to banish it and the Construct from our grave to flip face up the Shaddolls Aerial that is on our field. From here, Aerial effect is going to trigger, summoning back our Construct, and we're going to summon it back to a link zone that Cross Sheep points to, and then Cross Sheep and Construct effects are going to resolve. Construct is going to dump our Schism from our deck to our grave, and Cross Sheep is going to special summon back the Squamata. From here, we're going to link our Cross Sheep and our Construct together into a Barricade Board Blocker. Construct effect is going to add back our Schism here. So now, even though we're just stepping through this, we have access to Schism, so no matter what happens, we can at least put a window on the board. We're making Barricade Board Blocker here because it's just a generic dark. This could also be, I guess, Beat Cop from the Underworld. Although it doesn't really matter. And then from here, we'll link the two dark monsters into the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardish, and that's why it was important to dump the Squamata to give us dark access during this combo. Now, Bardish effect is going to trigger, sending our Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak from our deck to our grave to set a copy of the Phantom Knights of Shade Brigandine to our field. And now, since we control no traps in there's no traps in our graveyard, we can activate this to special summon it back to the field, and then we can banish our Ancient Cloak to add our Phantom Knights of Silent Boots from our deck to our hand, and then because we control the Phantom Knights card, we can special summon it to the field. From here, we can link two. This can either be done with the Shade Brigandine or with the Shaddolls Aerial. If you want, you could actually end up making a rank 4 with the Shade Brigandine and the Trick Clown. If you wanted to make something like Time Thief Redoer, because that card's also pretty decent. We'll link the two into an IP Masquerena, and then from here, we'll banish the Silent Boots to add a copy of Fogblade from our deck to our hand. And then we'll overlay the two remaining level 4s on our field into an Abyss Dweller. This can be any rank 4 that you want. It could be like a Tornado Dragon, but Abyss Dweller is just generically good, so it's falling into this slot. Then from here, we now have an Abyss Dweller, an IP Masquerena, and 2 settable traps. So we'll set our cards and then pass turn to our opponent. On our opponent's turn, at the beginning of their turn, we'll Abyss Dweller, detaching Trick Clown, and then Trick Clown effect will special summon itself back to our field. And now, before our opponent has the chance to do something, we've turned off their graveyard for the turn, and also we can Masquerena away for 4. Potentially, let's say we do that, we use Masquerena's effects to link summon a Appaloosa with 3 materials on it. And then from there, we have an Appaloosa for 3. We have a Shaddolls Schism that's going to banish a Dark plus a Shaddolls to summon a Winda, plus a Fogblade to potentially protect our Winda or potentially protect our Appaloosa from being outed. And our opponent is locked out of the extra deck for that turn. Plus we have a Shaddolls Fusion card to start our turn on the next turn. And Schism is basically just going to make us a construct, which is going to allow us to get a +2 on the follow-up turn. Alright, and then for this second combo, there's actually two variants that I'm going to showcase here. We'll start off with the first one, where we normal summon our Vion effect. Dump Shadow Mist to the grave. Shadow Mist effect triggers here, adding us any hero from our deck to our hand. We're going to add Elemental Hero Honest Neos, which is a light monster that we're going to use for fusion. Vion's going to activate its effect, banishing our Shadow Mist from our grave to add a polymerization from our deck to our hand. Then we're going to fuse the light and the Wendy from our hand to make an El Shaddolls construct. From here, construct effect is going to trigger, and Wendy effect is going to trigger. Wendy's going to special summon Ariel to the field, and construct is going to send our Shaddolls incarnation. And then from here, we're going to link off our El Shaddolls construct and our Shaddolls Vision Hero Vion to make Cross Sheep. And then we're going to banish our Shaddolls incarnation by its effect and our construct to flip up our Ariel. Ariel effect is going to activate, summoning back our construct. Cross Sheep effect and Ariel effect are going to trigger. Cross Sheep is going to special summon back Vion, and construct is going to dump our Schism from our deck to our grave. From here, we're going to activate Vion's effect again, banishing our Neos, because it's not a once per turn to banish to add a fusion spell. It's a soft once per turn. And then we'll add a polymerization from our deck to our hand. And then from here, we will link summon our Cross Sheep and our Shaddolls construct into our Barricade board blocker, our generic dark monster, to add back our Shaddolls Schism from our deck to our hand. And then after that, we're going to link our dark and our Barricade board into our Rusty Bardiche. And Rusty is going to send from our deck to our grave the Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak again to set, this time, a Fog Blade from our deck to our field. Then we're going to banish our Ancient Cloak to add our Boots from our deck to our hands. And then we're going to actually use this polymerization here to fuse away the Boots in our hand and the Ariel on our field to summon a Winda. Now this seems like it might be interesting because we could get Winda access later, but it's really nice, we're not going to special summon for the rest of the turn. So it's really nice having access to this Winda early on, because it basically means that our opponent is forced to out 2 Windas this game and not just one. And which makes it more difficult on their turn, because we can Schism for whatever we want instead of just being forced to Schism for the Winda. And then from here we banish our Phantom Knight card to add our Fog Blade from our deck to our hands, and then we're going to set our 2 cards and pass it to our opponent. Now on our opponent's turn, they have to deal with 2 Fog Blades, which is going to make it very difficult for a monster to clear the Winda, as well as having access to a live Schism without having to use it on Winda. So when we Schism during our opponent's turn, if we actually look through our graveyard, we have a lot of different options. We could go into a second Winda because we have tons of darks. We can actually go into an Earth monster. We can go into a Noyatilis if that becomes a little bit more relevant. Or alternatively, because we have access to basically anything we want, we can go into any of our good Shaddolls. We can go into Construct, App Cologne, or Winda. App Cologne if we want to target turn off something, that if our opponent wants to commit like something to clearing the Winda, and we can App Cologne turn off its effect, that'd be very good. Or if we wanted to just make a construct to clear something on the board, that'd be very good as well. So all of these, it gives you a lot more, this combo gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of protecting your Winda, as well as setting up Schism, so every turn after the starting turn, you have access to all of your Shaddolls monsters. And then for the last combo of this video, we have variant 2 of the same combo, where we normal summon Vion, dump Shadow Mist, add Elemental Hero Neos. I'm sure you guys have seen this a ton if you've been paying attention at all on this channel. Add Polymerization, fuse away our cards, make Construct, summon Ariel, summon Shaddolls Incarnation, link summon for Cross Sheep, banish Incarnation plus Construct to flip up Ariel. Ariel effect special summon back Construct. Construct effect and Cross Sheep effect. Construct sending Schism. Cross Sheep summoning back Vion. Vion effect banishing our Honest Neos to add a polymerization from our deck to our hands. And then from here we're going to link into our generic Dark monster again. And then we're going to take our Dark and our other Dark and turn that into a Rusty Bardiche, and then when you link summon for the Barricade board, make sure to add back the Schism. But then from here, Rusty Bardiche effect is going to activate, sending a Boots from our deck to our hand, and then this time we're just going to go down a rank 4 path, where we set a Shade Brigandine from our deck to our field, and then we're going to banish our Silent Boots to add a Fog Blade from our deck to our hand, activate Shade Brigandine, special summon. We're just going to overlay here for our rank 4, set our 2 traps, and pass turn. And then on our opponent's turn, we're going to Dweller just right out the bat. We don't necessarily need to make Dweller here. This can be anything you want. Like this could be a Time Thief Redoer. This could be a Tornado Dragon. anything that's relevant for the matchup where you think that making a rank 4 is just going to be better off for you than searching that additional copy of Fogblade and making that additional window, where like maybe some matchups window's not as good, particularly back row heavy decks. I could see the value of making a Tornado Dragon here because Fogblade's not really going to do much for you. And then from that point we can Schism again for our window, banishing a Dark and a Shaddolls. And then that's basically it for this video. In this one, we end up with an extra Polymerization in our hand as a starter for next turn, as well as a Schism. We'll have 3 other cards in our hand because this was only a 2-card combo. But yeah, those are basically... I think these combos represent potentially what is a little bit closer to the ceiling of what this deck can do. Some of the more awkward hands, it can be not quite as streamlined. Any way to construct still is basically access to Schism. It's just not nearly as clean cut as it is previously in like other combo variants where you can go through like Proxy F Magician to make multiple constructs in a turn. So you probably keep that in mind while you're playing this deck. But that being said, hope you guys enjoyed these combos. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think about this different style. I kind of like doing the silent combos because I trip up on my words when I'm trying to move through combos quickly. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. And this has been Underclocked here. I'll see you guys next time.